Good morning, Dan. Hope you're having a great day. This video is a continuation of your video on wordplay in the Bible. And if anybody watching hasn't seen Dan's video, then click on the link at the end of this video to check it out. I highly recommend it. Today, I'd like to talk about my favorite Hebrew wordplays or puns in the Old Testament. And first, I'd like to talk a little bit about what wordplay is. Now, wordplay can be used in a lot of different ways. For example, it can add emphasis. Dead as a doornail, very dead. Good as gold, very good. Right as rain, fit as a fiddle. Another way is that it can bring harmony out of contrast, Beauty and the Beast. Another way is that it can make something funny even funnier, like this picture about Optimus Prime and Megatron. Another way is that it can make something mean even meaner. It can make something negative even sharper. And I'll give you an example of that, and also at the same time an example of how the strength of the wordplay or the tone can be completely lost in translation. That's what Dan was saying in his video, that it's almost impossible to retain the pun and the wordplay in the translation. Now, Dan did find some instances where the translators retained the wordplay, and that's amazing and quite genius in my opinion. So how can a pun make something mean even meaner and it get lost in translation? Well, at school, if I had a classmate named Patty and I wanted to make fun of her weight, I could say Fatty Patty to her, and then she would start crying and the teacher would come and say, Josh, what did you say? And I would say, I didn't say anything. I just said she's slightly overweight. And Patty would say, no, he didn't. He used a derogatory term and connected it to that which is inherently me, my name. Then I would be sent to the principal's office, which often happened. But I chose this example because I don't know anybody named Patty or Betty, like a bitter Betty. So sorry if your name is Patty or Betty, but you get the point. So let's get into my favorite Bible wordplay. So first one is Isaiah 5:7. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. Oh, that's nice. And the men of Judah his delightful plant. Thus he looked for justice, but behold, bloodshed. For righteousness, but behold, a cry of distress. Okay, that's kind of bad, but there's no literary device going on here. But when we look in Hebrew, wow. So he looked for mishpat, but he found mishpach. Mishpat, mishpach. He looked for justice, but he found oppression. He looked for tzedakah, but found tzedakah. Tzedakah, tzedakah. He looked for righteousness, but found a cry for help. This is the play on words that is kind of contrastive. And God is not only explaining what's going on, but he's ticked, he's mad at what's going on. He's emphasizing it. Our next one, Micah 2:3. This one is something that is mean, that becomes even meaner. Something that's sharp, that becomes even sharper. Behold, I am going to rebuke your offspring. I will spread refuse on your faces. Ugh. The refuse of your feasts. So not just any refuse, but the refuse you produce from those feasts that I hate. And you will be taken away with it. Okay, that's pretty tough, but not nearly as tough as the Hebrew. Let's check it out. So, I will spread peresh al pnechem, peresh chagechem. Refuse on your face, refuse from your feast. That's like saying, you got poop on your face, you big disgrace. Okay, not exactly, but here you can see pnechem, chagechem. Feces on your face, and not just any feces, but the feces you produce from those feasts that I hate. I'm gonna smear your face with it. God can talk like that? Whew. Okay, scary. Let's continue. Micah 1:14. Therefore, you will give parting gifts on behalf of Moreshet Gad, the house of Achziv, will become a deception to the king of Israel. Nothing going on here. Achziv will become a deception. Achziv will become a deception. Let's check it out. Achziv here is the name of the place, and here Achzav is like a lie or deception. Achziv la'achzav. This is like Fatty Patty. This is just mean. Now, I'm not saying God is really mean or vulgar or something like that. All I'm saying is God's the one who invented words, and he's not afraid to use them.